Hello, welcome to Presidential Election Watch. Today is November the 8th, 2024. I'm Merrick Masters, a professor of business, commentator, and podcaster. You can find me at my email address and also at my YouTube channel. Today's episode of Presidential Election Watch, which is the first of 4 post-election episodes, covers where does the election stand as of November the 7th, 2024, which pollsters got it right, and also a little bit about what's next. The presidential election result map as of yesterday is that Trump won 312 electoral votes and Harris won 226. Trump won all the battleground states: Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. He performed better than he did in 2016 and in 2020. The pollsters that reviewed this posted their final predictions on November the 5th, and you can see the Real Clear Politics average had Trump ahead by 0.1%. Atlas had Trump ahead by 1%. TIPP had Trump ahead by 1%. NBC News had Trump ahead by 1%. Trafalgar had Trump ahead by a little over 2%. And Rasmussen had Trump ahead by 3%. Going forward, I would pay careful attention to not only your traditional well-known media pollsters, but also some pollsters that I think continually get things pretty close to the mark, and that is Trafalgar, Rasmussen, Atlas. And I would also throw in there a name that you may have heard of, Rich Barris, who does the People's Pundit. Some of these people have clear political preferences. They may, be said to be closer to Trump than the Democratic Party, but nonetheless, I think they're very objective in what they do and give you a realistic appraisal so that you can make your own assessment as to what these polls mean. I would say in the area of polling, based on what I've observed going through polls over this election period, is that somebody needs to look carefully into the methodology of pollsters and also the political preferences of some pollsters to see if those might be biasing the results. I'm not saying this about anybody in particular. I'm just saying that there needs to be more scrutiny of this industry by consumers of the knowledge so that we can make a fair assessment of which polls are likely to be more accurate than others. A little bit of breakdown of what the other polls that went into the Real Clear Politics average on November the 5th is provided here. What's next? I think that one of the unfortunate realities of American politics, particularly in the Trump era, is that there is no honeymoon anymore for presidents. There wasn't one for Trump in 2017. There really wasn't one for Biden in 2021, and there's not going to be one for Trump in 2025. The mobilization of the Trump Resistance Coalition 2.0, with focus on retaking the U.S. Congress and litigating Trump's executive actions, has already begun in earnest. And even though people may go along with the certification of the election without filing protest, I think that could be the lull before the storm. Based on what I've seen in the media, the opposition to Trump, the vitriol that's been expressed has not been muted by the election results, and that Trump can expect several things, including intense opposition to his appointees requiring senatorial approval. And bear in mind that whatever lull there is now in what people might do to ensure that Trump has a failed presidency can be viewed with great skepticism. There will be a storm, a vicious storm over policy going forward, as I think that the opposition forces will do everything in their power to block through congressional opposition, the mobilization of public opinion, and litigation, the policy initiatives that Trump tries to pursue. I'm going to do 3 more episodes. Party realignment is one, looking a little bit more closely at the final results by state. In the congressional races, the state races for governor and the legislature, and demographic patterns which suggest perhaps there may have been a shift in party alignments in this election, and the question is whether or not this trend will continue. Also doing an episode on money in the presidential congressional elections, the donor base, a little bit on dark and outside money, business, labor, and ideological split, and the party bases. Which groups does each party rely more or less on in terms of trying to generate funds? And the last episode is going to be on election administration and reform. I would say, thankfully, there didn't appear to be a whole lot of controversy over the election and its integrity in this race. And I think that credit is due to the officials at the state level and the local level of both parties who participated in this election for doing what they could to ensure the integrity of the system. And so I pay tribute to them for their efforts. And this is something very fundamental to our democracy that I think we need going forward and should work extremely hard and together on as Democrats and Republicans and others who participate in the political process, who want to have a voice, a fair voice in determining the future. That's a little bit about myself here that you can read at your leisure, and I look forward to seeing you in my next episode, which will be coming next week, breaking down the election and talking a little bit about party realignment. Thank you and have a good day.